Well, what's going on, America? I tell you what I know's going on. The astronauts have been returned to planet Earth. That's a biggie. That's a big deal. You heard what Trump said. Joe Biden just said to hell with them. I told you that. It was obvious. Hell, you get if you're an astronaut under anybody like Joe Biden, you might be stuck up there for the rest of your life. They might not send you any food or water or anything. They just don't care about you. Democrats do not care about you. What's up, Spin? No, I don't know what that is. It so Elon Musk went up and got the astronauts back. Imagine that. Who's funding all of this radical left destruction that we're seeing? Have you thought about it? It's pretty obvious to me who's doing it. We know it's the radical left, but where's all that money coming from to finance these people going around doing all what they're doing? Destroying. That's all they know how to do is destroy. They don't know how to build anything. These people are worthless. They belong in prison. No, I don't play Halo. Yeah, okay, you can go out of here. We don't need your kind of trash in here. You're gone. Bye bye. I got a billion blocks in me for all of you left wing libtards. I got no problem with blocking your ass. You don't even make a complete sentence, Rhea. What are you talking about here? What does that even mean? Is that English? No, toddlers don't know what sex is, so toddlers don't come out as trans. But I don't like your filthy cunt over here either, so you got to go. Bye bye. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what Liger means, so sounds like a made up word, a pretend word. Instead of speaking proper English, you're just making up words. I think I need to dump you too, is what I think. I'm gonna block you too. Yeah, I'll block all of them. I don't care. We don't need no left wingers over here. You people are just retarded people. You're stupid as fuck. You'd be better off served if you tried to swim to China. At least you'd be feeding the sharks that way. See, you could do some good with your life. That's that coffee brewing you're listening to. You know, coffee. Yummy. I tell you what country I'm in. I goddamn sure don't belong to no British dictatorship, which is exactly what Britain is. It's a dictatorship. Fuck God save the Queen and King. God needs to send down a fucking earthquake to swallow that whole family up. That's my opinion. But then again, we do trade with communist China, which is a dictatorship. So we have a lot of trade going with two dictatorships, Britain and China are the main two. Actually, we trade with a lot of dictatorships. Just people don't realize that. Personally, I think we should open up trade with Russia because Russia is not a dictatorship or a communist country. China is a democracy. And we should open up trade with Russia and be allied with Russia and tell China and Great Britain to go fuck themselves. Pretty much. They ought to be paying us to sell their products in our country. Like, quite literally, they should be paying us so much money that the American people are getting rich off of China selling their products here and Great Britain. Don't you think that they should pay the American people money to be able to sell their products here? And shouldn't we get a percentage of that money and not the government? They shouldn't get all of that money. They should be required to share the wealth with the American people. That's what I think. If Great Britain and China don't like it, well, they can go fuck themselves. There's so many good countries out there we could ally with and open up trade with. We could replace the entire European Union overnight. Well, practically. Like within 1 month, for sure. We could go to other countries, open up trade, give them enough money to get their P's and Q's in order. We could have so much cheap grain being sent to our country that your food price would drop over half. Everybody complaining about the price of bread. Well, open up trade with Russia, you stupid motherfuckers. Tell Britain to go fuck itself. Their grain costs too much. Same thing with China. I'd open up trade with a few of them African countries over there. See if we couldn't get a few military bases in there to protect our interests. America's the country that should be fighting for freedom, and we should never be allied with a dictatorship or any communist country in the world. What do you think about that? But talking about the destruction that's going on across America still by the left. Whew, what a bunch of criminal crybabies they have turned out to be. I hope every one of them gets caught and thrown into fucking prison for 20 fucking years. That's what needs to happen to those people. But I don't think you got any further to look than the Hinkle family as far as who's paying for it. The Hinkle family sends a lot of money to America to a lot of nonprofits, and that's ultimately who's paying for it. To me, it's like common sense. And who does the Hinkle family belong to? Britain. So Britain is ultimately causing all of these Tesla cars to be put on fire and attacks going on against Tesla. And any attacks like them that are taking place in America ultimately is being done by the order of the King of Britain. I guarantee it. What's up, Hash Brown? Well, I'm streaming on 2 channels. I always do. Or most of the time I do. Not always, but most of the time. Mm. But I do want to dive a little bit into the attacks that's been going on in America, and also just all that hate that we're getting from the left. Now, over here on my channel, you don't see a lot of that because I block a lot of that. And I got no leniency for that. Right? I'll block people if they come in here disrespectful. And all you got to do that is come in here with the wrong name. And I'll block you right there. You dig? The left don't know how to go anywhere and be respectful. That's why nobody likes them. So then they get mad about that and they go out causing a scene trying to be somebody. And they found out that the only thing they turned into was a fucking criminal. A piece of shit that nobody cares about or likes. That's about all we're really seeing going on. So I want to invite kind of a friend of mine on here later on. I'll be having a surprise guest come on a little bit later on. And we could talk about it a little bit more. There's my live link. You want to jump in here, Hash Brown? Or anybody else who's feeling itchy? What do you want to talk about? We could talk about a lot of things. We could talk about a lot of things. A lot of things going on. We want to talk about what a tremendous feat it is just to go up and get the astronauts and bring them back. That was pretty cool, though. Did you see the reentry? Capsule was coming down, jets start firing off, or the rockets as it's coming down, slowing it up. And then those real small, strong chutes went out. You saw 2 of them, and it was slowing down the ship. And then after it gets to a certain height and a certain speed, the main chutes deployed, 4 big, beautiful parachutes. And then you saw it splash down like that. That was pretty cool, yeah. Did you hear Trump talk about the effects of being in space for a prolonged period of time like that? Maybe I should go to space for about 6 months. No, but really, one of the astronauts grew 2 inches taller. He'll probably go back down at least an inch, giving him enough time. Your bones become less dense, so while they're here on planet Earth, they need to work out, periodically through the day, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, and they need to gain that bone density. You're gonna have to eat the right foods for that, vitamin D mainly, right? And they got to get reacclimated to being on planet Earth. That those are just the effects of being in space for a prolonged period of time. And so we'll see how that works out for them. It should work out pretty good. But they're recovering right now, and after they recover over a period of time, then Trump's going to invite them to the Oval Office and have them there. And I think that's pretty good. But what a piece of shit Joe Biden is for leaving the astronauts up there in the space station to begin with, right? In my opinion, Joe Biden should be charged with treason for abandoning our astronauts up there in space when he could have got them down. He could have sent Elon Musk rocket up there to get them down. Oh, but God forbid you pay Elon Musk to go get the astronauts. So instead of doing that, he abandoned our astronauts. That's just like at the Bay of Pigs when JFK called the fucking president of Cuba and told him where our fucking troops were landed at. And what did they do? They just walked up to the beach and slaughtered every one of them. But JFK paid the price. They killed his fucking ass. Not really because of that, but because, he was going against the drug cartels. One of them had enough connections here, he just had his fucking ass killed. That's pretty much all that was about. And it's so ironic, though, isn't it? We had a terrible president in JFK, but he paid the price for it because there were a lot of people here didn't like him, especially after the Bay of Pigs. You want to set your military against you. Just see to it that, one of our units is slaughtered by another country like he did. And there you go. And so JFK was a piece of shit, just like Joe Biden's a piece of shit. I think we should go back and charge JFK post-mortem and have him convicted. And I think they should definitely charge Joe Biden. Because it's very treasonous to leave your fucking astronauts in space. To abandon your people is treason. So that's what I think about that. What are your thoughts on the issue? What do you think about all that? These people had to wait almost 10 months to be rescued. Man, you'd be better off if you were stuck on some island somewhere nobody even heard about for 10 months. At least when you got rescued, you just have some nourishment issues to catch up on, and then you're all right. But you won't have all those effects from being in space for a prolonged period of time. If you got some trees on the island, you can make some rope. And if you make rope, well, you can catch fish, maybe a big shark. Hell, you catch a big shark, you better dig you a big hole somewhere. Yeah, maybe you can find something to align that hole with, and you can put your meat down in there that you cook. Take your damn clothes off, clean them up real good, wash them up, and wrap your meat in those clothes, and then you can bury your food. That's as good as putting it in an icebox. See, you can survive if you're on an island, but if you're up there on a space station and you run out of food, you're not going to fish for anything. You're just out of food. So Joe Biden, without a doubt, is a 100% piece of shit. Just for doing that, he's a piece of shit. I'm pretty sure guys like Obama and those kind of people are fueling the left with money to do bad things. I got no doubt about that. But the number one people that are funding it is the Hinkle family. You don't have to look any further than that. But as for me and my life, man, I'm just hanging out, drinking beer, getting stoned. Not right now. I'm taking a break, man. Man, I was floating in beer last night. And I purchased some baseball cards. You see that shit? It's pretty cool, huh? So anybody wants to go watch that video and buy some baseball cards, getting a good deal. I got a good deal on them, so might as well spread the good deal around, right? Hell yeah. Mm, what a day, man. I'm about wore out. I tell you. Oh, ho, 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 baby. But how would you like to be an astronaut, though? I mean, with Trump in office, he's not going to abandon you up there. And about 20 to 30, probably 40, 50 years, Musk wants to have people living on Mars. I think that would be really cool. I don't think I'll be around to see that, but I think that if you are, that would be pretty special and pretty cool to see that. Can I say your name? I don't know. You haven't told me your name yet, but I know that's not your name. And I don't know what that word means, so I'll just say Dan. Shady Dan. Wouldn't be any relation to Dan Tana, would it? You probably don't even know who Dan Tana was. You probably don't even know how that actor got his start. Because I doubt that you're old enough. But, oh, I feel very nauseated right now. I drank way too much beer last night. But, I get corrupted all the time. If they ain't bringing beer over to drink, I'll go there and they're busting out the fucking Mary Jane. Well, I'm happy when I smoke the Mary Jane, but when you drink too much beer, oh, fuck. You wake up the next day, man, your head is floating and it's just like, feel nauseated. So I'm drinking the hell out of this coffee trying to get caught up. And for you white ladies out there, hopefully here in the next few days, I'm going to have Mariama's brother on here, one of her brothers. And he's kind of interested in finding a white woman. And she don't got to be rich or anything. He lives in Sierra Leone, Africa, in Freetown. So I'll have him up here. He's a pretty good guy. I think you'll like him. Uh, Everybody over at Mariama's is doing great. One of the kids pretty much wore her shoes out already. Bought her new shoes during Christmas. She already wore them out. So I'll be buying her some new shoes. And she'll be happy about that. What's going on, Aaron Madrano? My day's going good. I'm just a little groggy. drinking all that fucking beer. Then I woke up and couldn't find my goddamn cell phone, right? So I'm looking all over for it. Had one of my roommates call me. I didn't hear it anywhere. So I'm retracing my steps from yesterday, right? I didn't find it downstairs. I didn't leave it anywhere. I walked down the street to my buddy's house. Didn't see it anywhere over there. So I come back, walk back upstairs. Some long fucking stairs. And I got my exercise in this morning with a hangover. I guess that's a good way to wake up, right? If you got a hangover, just get out and get some exercise in. And so I cooked myself some breakfast, about 4 eggs and some sausage. That was pretty good. And then and then so I'm looking for my fucking cell phone, and I got thinking about it. Well, shit, I went live stream last night before I passed out, so my phone got to be in my room, right? So I come back in my room and I'm looking at the table. It's not there. Look at the other table. I look over there, look over there, looking all around. No cell phone. What the fuck did I do with my cell phone, right? And so it fell between the bed and the wall, man. That's why I couldn't hear it when it was ringing, because it's pushed up against my bed, so you can't really hear it too good when that's the case. I reached down in there and pulled my cell phone up, and oh, there you are, buddy. And check, yeah, it's fucking charged. It was ringing. I just couldn't fucking hear it. What a dilemma to wake up like that. Like, oh, fuck, man. I probably just threw my cell phone back here and said, fuck it, you can hide back there tonight. Damn, you wake up next day and you ain't going to remember that shit. What'd I do with my cell phone? Oh, I threw it behind the bed. You had to break up with the black girl because she was going out with her homegirls too much. And that was the red flag. Well, you get a party girl, what do you expect? You're not going to take the party out of a party girl, man. You probably got one that's too young for you. See, that's the problem with going for a younger woman. You know, they could be caught up in so many things like popularity. You know, it's kind of a drag over from school, right? Everybody at school wants to be popular, have people like them, and, you know, whatever. Stupid shit. And so maybe she wants to go out shopping a little bit too much, right? Or way too much. Or maybe you get the party girl, right? Because she's used to partying. Because that's all they did in school. Man, you need to stay away from them young women and get you an older woman. You know, somebody in her mid 30s is good. I tell you, they're mature. They know what they want. Now, if you get an older 20-year-old, you know, like 28-year-old, 26, maybe whatever, as long as they're mature enough, they're headed in the right direction with their life. Then you'll be okay. But you got to have that maturity up there. You dig? And then on top of that, you need to know things about them, right? You need to learn about each other before you hook up. Like, you got to know what each other's religion is, or if you really don't have one, that kind of shit. Oh, look at there. See, I was right. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at figuring these things out. All you got to do is tell me the right words, and I already know what was going on. I don't have to ask. You know, I'm kind of a connoisseur of women, right? I mean, I know about relationships, and I can tell you the ones that ain't gonna work because I done been there and seen that. So she was younger, and she's probably better off single. There you go. Yeah, women like that. I know a woman that she is fucking gorgeous. She is so beautiful. Her only feature on her that ain't perfect is that she's got an A cup size tit. Like she's got the itty bitty tits. She doesn't got no tits. They don't hang. She's almost completely flat chested. Uh, as is to say, she's got really small tits. Uh, she gets those nippies and all that, and okay size areolas. But she's drop dead gorgeous, man. I mean, skinny as fuck. Like, ooh, streamlined, right? Just perfect. Perfect body. Perfect face. But if you think you're gonna marry that, you lost your fucking mind. She had a sugar daddy at one time, and this guy was giving her like shit, about 20 grand a month. He's married, he's a rich guy, but he's one of those guys that likes to have his women on the side. Concubine. Nothing wrong with that. Not in my opinion. The only thing she fucked up on was she texted one of her ex-boyfriends, and he asked her, "Hey, you want to hook up? When can we hook up?" And her answer to him was, "Well, I just left his place, and so I'm kind of patted down for the moment, but here maybe in a couple of hours we could hook up. I'll come over." That kind of conversation, right? So them two still fucking. So the next day when he tells her, "Hey, once you come on over," she goes over. Now here's the kicker: when they entered the relationship, he gave her a cell phone, top of the fucking line cell phone, and basically he takes her cell phone. That's part of the arrangement. That this is your cell phone. I got a tracker on it. I can read all your fucking shit. In other words, he's keeping track of her, right? Because part of the deal is, well, you can't be out there sleeping with other men and think that I'm just going to keep being your sugar daddy. It don't work that way. But she agreed to the terms, and she was happy with it. And she was happy with the money. So she's over there banging Mr. Rich Boy over there. And then when she goes over the next day, he reaches over and grabs her phone and says, "I want to look at your phone for a minute." He goes right to that fucking email, and then he turns it around to her and he says, "Who's that? What's that conversation about?" And of course, she's just like, "Oh, he's just a friend." Uh huh. And you're going to hook up and do what? Bang, bang? What's that mean? I think we know what that means, right? She goes, well, what? Well, you're a fucking nympho and you can't go without dick. So therefore, you can go. Bye bye. So he gives her her old phone back and he takes the new phone that he let her have. And that was the end of the relationship. And she came over one day, right? She's talking. And am I holding a fart right now? Oh, that's funny, Dallas. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I drank too much for that last night, but you never know. Give me a few minutes. I'm kind of like the Texas weather. Give me a few minutes. It could change. But yeah, it's kind of like that. But anyway, so uh, during our conversation, it's kind of like, well, why did you fuck up and go fuck so and so? She's like, well, I was horny. Why not? And and it's kind of like, well, yeah, but you had to deal with Rich Boy over there, so why are you complaining? You had to deal with him. You broke the deal, right? He's like, well, yeah. I didn't think it was that serious of a deal or of a deal breaker, right? And and it's like, well, you agreed to the terms, didn't you? But see, you failed on your end, and you got to ask, why did he break up with me? This shouldn't even be a question. You was cheating on a guy, and so he cut you loose. If that's your agreement in a relationship, that's going to happen every time. But her problem is she's a fucking nympho. So then she turned to high price hooking. I mean, there's guys out there paying this bitch $4,000 or $5,000 for one night of action because she knows where to go to hook up with the rich and famous. She's not stupid, and she was doing real good there for a while. And then I know one guy that was paying her $2,000 a night, but he was more of a regular client, so she was always over there banging that old fat fuck. And but that plays out. See, it plays out, especially when your claim to fame is your good looks, and then you gain about 30 fucking pounds. Oh no, baby, you ain't getting that business no more. You'd be lucky if you see 50 fucking dollars for a night of action. It's too bad too, right? Women like that. They don't realize, hey, you're sexy now, but give it a few years. It ain't always going to be like that necessarily. And she wasn't able to keep her weight off as she aged. And she's still in her 20s. And she's kind of bellied there, not fat, but belly. She got a belly now. She ain't skinny and looking sexy like that anymore. And I was just like, how do you gain weight when your claim to fame is being skinny, and that's how you're making your fucking money? So now you're back to working odds and end jobs just trying to make a buck. Bitch, you need to lose that fucking weight and get back to work. Go back to doing what you was doing. You can't do that if you's a fat fuck. And she might be pregnant. I don't know. But who's the daddy? Oh, he's going to pay for that, baby. But I doubt she's pregnant. She's not the kind that wants to have a baby. If she got pregnant, she would have had an abortion. And but no, she just gained a lot of weight. Women like that, you really don't want to hook up with. You want to stay away from them kind of women. You know, if you can find you a nympho that actually can control it enough, she's not fucking around on you. Well, then you got paradise with that woman. But there are problems with that kind of woman too. A lot of problems with that kind of woman. And it's just a matter of time before some other guy gets a hold of it. But that's even if that never happened, there's a lot of other problems with that kind of woman. They clingy. I've seen a guy get with a woman like that, man, they start going at it, bang, 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 man, they fucking all the time. And then comes time to go to work the next day, so he got up, he took a shower real quick, he's putting on his clothes, and she's over there taking his clothes off as fast as he can put them on. And he's like, oh fuck it. So they fucked again. He goes to work and he's fucking late for work. Well, that happens so many times you lose your job, right? So he lost his fucking job. That's one of the major issues with those kind of women. They're too fucking clingy. And when it's time for you to go take care of your business, you can't do it because you got Miss Clingy over here wanting to go bang bang all the time. So my advice to most all men is to stay away from the nymphos. You dig? You don't need the nymphos. But whatever woman you got, you're gonna have to put plenty of dick to her, and be sure to lick that fucking pussy down real good. You can't go without doing that. Okay? I'm talking like lick it down for an hour or so at a time. You gotta please that fucking pussy, baby. Can't just be one way. Because if it's always just one way, well, she's gonna go find a fucking hard dick to ride. Fuck you, you're out of there. That's kind of the way it works. So that's another mistake that a lot of men make. They don't please that fucking booty. See, blowjobs are great, but don't keep her down there for 8 fucking hours and not giving her any dick. Just have her suck it just enough to get in the heart and fucking let her ride it. Ram it. You know what I'm saying? Put her on her knees and fucking go at it. Pick her leg up, throw it in the fucking window, wave to the fucking neighbors while you're banging her. I don't give a fuck, but you gotta please your woman. See, a lot of men don't think that way. A lot of men just think, well, I need a woman to please me. No, you can't just have a woman to please you. You have to please the woman too. So it's a two-way thing. You can't always blame it on the woman. Well, my woman cheated on me, so we got divorced. Why did she divorce you? I don't know. She just fucking was cheating on me. Why was she cheating on you? Well, I don't know. I guess she just wanted to cheat. She's a cheater. She's a whore. She's a hooker. No, that's not why. The reason why is because you weren't pleasing her. That's the reason why. Aaron's into what I'm saying. He's understanding. So go find you a good woman that's more refrained in that area. Just don't forget to please her. You dig? You ain't got to do it. You ain't got to wear yourself out doing it. But just give her enough to please her real good. Satisfy your women. Whether you got one woman or you got 5 women, bring them all into the fucking living room. Put them all up on that couch on their fucking knees and bang every fucking one of them. I'm just saying, you got to please whatever woman you got. You dig? I mean, how hard could that be? Give me 3 women right now, and I'll put them up on my bed and please every one of them. There won't be any doubt about it. So, I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. But a lot of men are just, they become very complex. They just want to sit down and have their women suck their cock while they watch the news all day. Lazy motherfuckers. Don't let yourself become like that. And if you're like that, you got to work your way back out of that. You got to start making sure that you're plugging your woman right. You got to please that booty, baby. That's what life is all about. If you're going to have a relationship, see, it doesn't matter who you are in a relationship. Both have to be satisfied, not just the one. So yeah, I'm just wondering if they made any space babies up there with that woman. Yeah, what, 2 guys and a woman? I bet they was having fun up there in space. Oh man, that's just bad. I wonder if they cleaned up the room they was banging in. You know, you pull it out and shoot a wad, and you're trying to aim for the mouth, and it shoots over the head. It's going to go bouncing off the wall. It might stick to it, right? There's no gravity. That fucking shit will shoot up there to the ceiling. You got to float up there and wipe it off. Whew, I didn't realize I splattered so goddamn bad. Oh, that shit's funny. Yeah, I could imagine being stuck up there in space with a woman, and it's like you fuck the shit out of her, and then you push her to the other side of the room and tell her, "Open your mouth, pop, pop, pop." Your sperm's just floating across the fucking room, and she's over there trying to catch it with her mouth. It'd be my luck I got one that didn't swallow, and she'd duck and hit the fucking wall. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. I mean, instead of sending them food, Joe Biden probably sent them a bunch of fucking rubbers. Yeah, what a deal. Being an astronaut. And your own fucking president just abandoning you and leaving you up there in space. You're not supposed to be up there 8 fucking days. That's about 1 week, right? And and then your president just says, fuck it, just ignores you. What would have happened if Joe Biden got reelected or Kamala got elected? Those astronauts would have died in the space station. That's what would have happened. But Donald Trump, boy, he's like, hell no, let's go get them. So through NASA, they pay Tesla to build the fucking rescue ship. He sends it up there and gets the astronauts. No problem. But did you hear him talk about his rockets? That rocket is so fucking powerful. It could lift buildings, like 10-story buildings into space. And fucking rocket he's built is powerful and it's huge. And for the first time, we actually have a rocket that could get us to Mars and back with no problem and populate Mars. That's how powerful that rocket is that they're using. Or not Tesla. Did I say Tesla earlier? Oh, that's a good one. There is a Tesla car in space, by the way. How many people forgot about that? But no, I was talking about SpaceX. SpaceX went up, but the rockets they're using is powerful, very powerful rockets. It, that rocket can literally, with no problem, launch hundreds of satellites into space, depending on how big they are, but smaller, just communication satellites. If I'm not mistaken, they launched somewhere close to 1,000 rockets with one launch, like around 1,000 satellites for some particular company. That's a lot. There's so much shit in outer space right now that if you put it at the right level where you want it, you really need to build a communication satellite that's impervious to having a car wreck in space. Like literally, you got to build it strong. You dig? And you might need to build the kind of satellite that's like in a round ball, looks like a landmine, or maybe not a landmine, but a mine, like in the water, like World War II mine, with arms sticking out all around it. So when something makes contact and it pushes the arm in, the arm pushes that motherfucker away. Yeah, I mean, it's either that or just arm the motherfucker and bah, shoot that motherfucker with a machine gun. Space warfare. Don't get too close to my satellite. Or you could even create one with a big, long fucking samurai sword kind of thing. Make you a sword that's like 20 foot long with a long fucking arm out there. When another satellite gets too close to your satellite, just slice that motherfucker in half. Fuck you. Cut your head off, bitch. There's a lot of junk up there now, but I tell you, there's still plenty of room. It really all depends on the altitude that you're at. That's really all it depends on. And depending on the altitude depends on which trajectory you're going to be taking as your satellite goes around the planet. Ah, it's good coffee. Yeah, I got some good pepper in my coffee. Not too much, just a little bit. But I had to put enough pepper in there. I've had to drink almost this whole cup of coffee to even feel the slightest bit of that pepper. But I think I'm gonna put a little more pepper in my next cup because I'm trying to open up and wake up for the day. Trying to get over this hangover. So, but put just the right kind of habanero in there, baby, and it'll open you up. Trust me. Hell yeah. Plus, habanero is good because it'll make your fart smell like a rose. Literally. How many of you knew that? Raise your hand. I bet most of you didn't even know that. A lot of people don't know that. If you're having a problem with your farts, eat a habanero. 45 minutes to 1 hour later, your farts will start smelling like a rose. Really, it smells more like a habanero, but habaneros similar to a rose kind of flavor. So if you want to spruce up your farts to make them smell like a rose, all you gotta do is eat a fucking habanero. And habaneros aren't too hot to eat. I mean, slice them up, eat them with some beef, put them in your hamburger, put them in your fucking stew, or you could just grab one and in one bite eat the whole fucking thing. Of course, after that, you might be somebody who can't handle that little bit of heat, and you'll be like, eyes be tearing up and shit, right? But trust me, if you eat peppers on any kind of frequency, you can handle a habanero. If you can eat one jalapeno, you can eat a jalapeno. In fact, if you can eat half of a jalapeno, you can eat a habanero. So you can grind it up though and put it in your coffee. And it just takes a little bit. That's what I do. And my coffee comes out so good, especially with cinnamon and sugar and your habanero in there. Oh, it's fucking delicious. Mm, I like it anyway. I think it's pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna have a surprise guest on here later on. Hopefully later on today. I don't know what their schedule's like, but we'll see. But I want to talk about the haters, out there in particular. We're gonna, I think, maybe drag the conversation in that direction. Dark Woods presents. Okay, whoever that is. You only eat meat. That's really a good healthy way to live is mainly just eat meat. But you got to eat other things too. You can't just eat meat. You need your vitamin C. You need your vitamin D in particular for a good strong bone density. You're not going to get that if you only eat meat. And just being out in the sun doesn't necessarily make up for the lack of intake of vitamin D. So you need a good diet. You need to eat a certain amount of breading with your meat is good too. Whether it's corn flour or it's flour, uh, tortillas, breading, whatever. Hamburgers are good. Don't just eat them with just meat. I prefer my burgers like that. But sometimes I'll put on a lettuce and tomato and onion. Uh, like earlier this week and for the past couple of weeks, I've been eating a lot of sandwiches. Like, during the day, you get a little hungry, want something to kind of munch on. I'll make a fucking sandwich. Put my meat on there, put lettuce, tomato, onion, a little bit of mayonnaise maybe or whatever you want. Smash that together and eat it. It's healthy for you. You got to have a certain amount of vitamin K in your body. And with vitamin K, that means you need to eat some kind of greens about at least 2 to 3 times a week. Well, you never see me pop up anymore. That means you followed me in the past. And what you should be doing, yeah, peppers are a good source of vitamin K too, especially jalapeno. Um, uh, serranos are really good too, right? Which serrano's just a version of jalapeno. But uh, so maybe you need to hit that fucking bell right. You need to hit on the bell and get all of my notices when I'm live. Probably brought you out of that. You probably need to tap it again. But like this morning, I didn't just eat sausage. I ate sausage and eggs. I was thinking about maybe cooking some toast with it or some kind of bread, but I don't really need it. So I just ate the eggs and sausage. Pretty good. And technically, I just warmed up the sausage, put it in the microwave, nuked it, put it in a short bowl, and then scramble up my eggs on low heat. And you know where they come out so soft, flavor. Oh, yummy. And just put that in a bowl and just fucking slice my fucking sausage. Eat my sausage. Put some egg in there. Chew that up together. Oh, that's a great combination for breakfast. And I got so much fucking sausage in there. I still got over 2 pounds of fucking sausage. I'm steadily eating on that sausage every fucking day, man. I'll heat up the sausage, put it in a fucking piece of bread, and throw some fucking mustard on it. Just eat it like that. Or I'll grab an egg. I mean, not an egg. I'll grab a fucking onion and slice it, and then throw it on the fucking grill and cook me some fucking onion. Yeah. Then I'll slice that motherfucker up, put it, or I'll actually slice it before I cook it. But you pull it out of the pan and you put it on in your bread with your sausage, right? I don't like to eat messy food all the time, so I generally don't do that. Believe it or not, what I do is I just put it on the plate, and then I'll just you can use a fork or whatever, and you eat your or a spoon if you want to do that, and you can just uh, you take a bite out of your sausage roll, and then take a bite of some fucking onion. And then when you chew all that up together, it's like, ooh, bursting flavor right there. It's pretty good. I'll just eat like that. I mean, I survive off the bare minimums a lot of times. I don't need fancy fucking food all the time, like fucking jumbo shrimp or fucking lobster. You get tired of that shit too. And I'll change up. I always change up from month to month. Like, you know, some months I ate pizza. I ate a lot of pizza, and then some months I don't. I just eat a little bit or none. I'm kind of like that with my eating. I don't like if I eat one food for too long, it gets old. I want something different. So I'm always changing up how I'm eating. Soups, I don't do soups right now, but that ain't to say that next month or the month after I won't be doing more soups. You can go get uh those Manchurian soupies, right? Little comes in a cup. I always put mine in a fucking pan, and then you open you up a can of corn, and all you need is a little some foil. Buy you a thing of foil, and you make a lid out of that, right? Unless you order some of the plastic things that go on cans, and you can just put them on there like a lid. But I generally use foil, and I'll put that in an ice box. So the corn is gonna last me for a couple of days, man. So I eat the hell out of soup in that situation. And the reason I don't generally eat it out of the cup, a lot of times I will, but that's because I want to cook it in a pan. I want to heat it up in a pan of water, but I want to put maybe a pepper in there. I want to slice up a pepper and put it in there, maybe some onion and put that in there. Maybe get some beef. You can buy skirt steak, slice that up real good, throw that in there. Any kind of meat, really. Sausage, bacon, if you want to go that way. or bacon and beef or whatever combination you want to put in there. Serranos, you can put serrano in there. Any kind of pepper is really good in soup. I love pepper in soup. I like my soup spicy, and uh, yeah, you can put anything for flavoring in that thing that you want. You end up with a really good soup, in my opinion. Uh, so technically, you don't have to buy the kind in a cup. You can buy the really cheap kind, right? I mean, if you're gonna throw in uh, like your corn or your peas, you know, onion, whatever you're gonna put in it, then you should be good to go with your flavor in there. Liver and onions. Oh, that sounds good. Next time I go shopping, I might have to get some liver. Liver was on sale last week when I went shopping, or a couple of weeks ago. Whenever I went shopping, I don't even remember. And I remember that liver being on sale, and I almost grabbed a package of that, but I didn't. So next time I go shopping, I might do that with the liver, and buy plenty of maybe vegetable oil and empty that vegetable oil in a pan and just fucking fry up some goddamn liver, man. Ooh, that'd be really good. I might cook that for everybody in the house. Just a big old package full of fucking liver. Ooh, yeah. Throw some onion in the pot too and let that cook with the liver. Yummy. Man, you can't go wrong with that. And then when you're done cooking it, right? When you're done cooking it, if you have to, you pour out a little bit of the water, but you only want so much water in there. And throw you in some of them packets, right? Where it makes your brown gravy for you. Now you got the brown gravy all over with the liver and the onion. Mmm. God bless America. Yeah, livers are really good. I love liver. Cook them till they're fucking golden if you want to, dip them in flour and then drop them in the cooking oil. Really, that's the way to do it if you ask me. So you put them in there, they're all breaded up, and you just cook that until they're golden brown, and then you just take them out. Technically, you don't want to take them out right away. You put the heat on real low, and then you throw your packets in there and make your brown gravy. And then you can cook like anything you want with that. You could cook like toast. You can eat it over toast, or you can mash up some mashed potatoes and just serve mashed potatoes. I might do that. Liver and mashed potatoes, onion, brown gravy. Oh God, ooh, ooh, ooh. That sound delicious, don't it? Get you a whole enough for everybody to have a big, huge plate of fucking mashed potatoes, and then just put your fucking liver right there in the middle of that. It's like the mashed potatoes are the bowl, right? That's how you want to serve that. That's how you want to serve that. Oh my God, talk about good. And then just bread on the side. You ain't got to toast it. Just bread on the side's good for me. Put a little butter on one or two of them slices of bread while we're at it. Matter of fact, let me melt some butter and get a brush and just brush a little bit on my bread. Mmm. Now we're talking. And you want to put fucking garlic or whatever in with your butter, that's fine. You can do all of that. Cilantro, you can peel that apart and throw that in there with your butter. Why not? Spread that over your bread. Yeah. Cook your bread in the oven a little bit. Make it a little bit toasty. And then do that. Now you got a meal fit for a king or a queen. How about that? Oh yeah, liver. I could do liver. I could do liver all day long. I could eat liver. But if you eat liver all the time, it gets old. You want to switch up and go to something else. But yeah, I love liver, man. I could eat that fucking liver. Let me tell you. Sounds like a good idea for dinner. I'm gonna have to do that next time I go shopping. Buy a couple of bags of potatoes and a couple of things of liver and just have a fucking liver cookout. Just invite some friends over, whatever. Y'all come on over, bring your family. We're all gonna eat liver tonight. Cook enough liver, you have liver left over. The trick, I think, to that plate is you gotta buy plenty of fucking potatoes. See, so you want at least 2 full bags of potatoes if you're gonna have friends over, maybe 3. Depends on how many friends you're serving. And but just you for yourself, well, whatever you want, or you a couple of people, it's like 1 bag will do you. You just gotta mash it all up, no big deal. Hell yeah, cooking potatoes and mash them up real easy. And me, I like to skin in. I don't like to skin out. I got a little trick that I do with that. It's a personal trade trick. I use dish soap and I pour that on my potato and then I rub it down really good. I rub it down with my hands really, really good. And I clean my sink and I'll put it in my sink and I just clean the potatoes and you can tell a difference. They come out really clean. And then you rinse them off really good and keep wiping them down as you're rinsing them off really good. Don't leave them in the fucking soap too long. That shit'll suck that water into the potato. And then after you cook them, it might taste a little bit like soap. So what you're doing is you're putting your fucking potatoes in the sink, and then your water first with your soap, and then dump your fucking potatoes in there and clean them off and put them to the side, and then empty the water out, and then rinse all of the potatoes off real fast. Put them in a bowl or whatever, and then you can just and then you cook them, and then you mash them. Oh God, skin in, baby, and it tastes great. It's sort of like rice. A lot of people cook rice. You could just cook it in a pan, right? I don't have a steamer right now. I need to get a steamer. Is what I really need. And but let me tell you, when you clean your rice like about 50 fucking times, it don't really take 50 times, but you need to clean your rice. You put it in a bowl, fill it up with water, and you put your rice in a strainer inside the bowl. You put plenty of water in there and you shake it around. You shake it around real good. And you just lift that strainer up, let all that water drain out, and you just keep doing that. Do it at least 10 times. And I'll tell you what, then you throw that rice in the fucking steamer and steam it. You can literally take that rice out, put it on a table, and take and shake it and have the rice fall out. And I tell you what's going to happen. You can put a stick in that motherfucker and lift the entire thing up. It's going to be so sticky. But it tastes different too because it's not dirty rice. You're eating clean rice. So it's kind of like that with potatoes. If you clean your potatoes really good, then you just got the potato taste. You don't have the dirty potato taste like a lot of people. And a lot of people don't like the skin in because of that. Because well, the skin's dirty, and so a lot of people will cut the skin off and then mash the potatoes, and that's fine if you like it like that. I like to clean my potatoes really good before I cook them, and then slice them up real good, like really good, and then mash them up. And let me tell you what comes out of that is some really good potatoes with the skin in. Now you pour liver and onion and brown gravy over that. Mm, mm, mm. I don't even need no bread to eat with that. But if you want to, I mean, you can do your bread however you want and eat your bread with it too. I'm just saying, just that meal alone is outstanding. Yeah, that's a good meal to eat. And it's so easy to do too, really. It's really easy. You just get some flour out, put it in a fucking bowl, you take your liver and put your flour all over it, pat it up real good, drop it in the fucking oil. Your oil's already warmed up, right? You ready to go? One, two, three, four. How many of them can you fit in the fucking pan? Boil them bad boys up. And then get you some warm water. And when you take those out, put them in the warm water. And then make your fucking gravy. You dig? In fact, you'd be better off just cooking your onion in the water, and your liver you fry it while it's breaded. And then you put the bread in, comes out golden brown, you take and put it in with the water, and then you make your brown gravy. But you only want so much water in there when you're doing that. That way the gravy just kind of covers it. Well, you know how to do it. And I don't see how you could do better than that. I mean, you don't have to bread your liver. That's the thing about it. You could cook it in water altogether. You don't have to cook it in vegetable oil. But you can do it that way. That's what I'm saying. You got your options there. Me, I prefer it breaded, cooked, and then put in a pan with the onions and the brown gravy mix. Yeah, but you always want mashed potatoes with your liver because that's the best combination. Can't go wrong with that combination. But yeah, the left is busy. They're busy hating all over the place, man. That ain't nothing there. I think society's grown bored of their fucking annex. Kind of fed up with it, you know. There's cameras all over the place. A lot of these people are going to be caught and thrown in prison. I hope it was worth it. I hope they got paid enough money to do what they're doing because what they're doing is against the will of the people. The people don't want to see shit destroyed. That's dumb. If people want to buy an electric car, let them go buy it. Who cares? All I ever said against electric cars is we don't need to make it mandatory to switch to electric cars because then you'll be doing more harm to the planet. But electric cars are here. Electric passenger drones are here. So you might as well get used to it. You dig? You could even think of making that shit and selling it like Elon Musk. It's not that difficult if you got the money. You just need to save enough money. Maybe you need to buy your equipment. You know, you probably need to buy a property first, like some kind of property to put your equipment and shit. And then you can just keep buying as you go through life, right? You can stock up on copper wire like it's a bad sin. And then go to making your own fucking motors. Believe it or not, it's really not that difficult. Did you know you can build your own batteries and it's so fucking easy? You can. If you don't want to make the plastic container for it, you can buy those. If you don't like the cells that you're buying, you know, you can get online and buy the battery cells. You can completely rebuild a battery with some really good cells. You don't even have to make those, but you can. You can make those right there on the fucking table. You can make your own battery. Uh, so if you're making your own motor, you're making your own batteries or battery, huge battery, whatever. Then what else you need to do? You can buy your own blades or you can make your own blades. Blades are easy to fucking make. Oh, this is plastic. That's all it is. All you gotta do is melt down the plastic. Be sure to wear oxygen masks. Now you need an oxygen mask. Trust me. So, but all you gotta do is melt down your plastic and pour it into a fucking mold. That's it. So all you gotta do is make a mold. How do you want your blades to look? How big do you want them? what's the exact dimensions of this thing? It's pretty easy actually to make a mold. Is really easy. And then you just pour a fucking mold. I mean, seriously, how hard could that be? If you need to sand it down a little bit after, you probably do. Well, that's it. You smooth it off. Got your fucking blades. You ready to go, baby? Are you going to use a clutch or no clutch? See, a lot of people with these passenger cars now, they're turning to the clutch. A lot of people don't use a clutch though. A lot of these companies, they just got the motor hooked up to the blade. They got their gear shaft running in there of some sort, and then when you put power to it, the blades turn on. The more power you put to it, the faster the blade will turn. But you could use a clutch. You don't have to just use the motor. But if you use a clutch, you can use a smaller motor and turn the blades just as fast. Ah, think about that, did you? So a lot of what you see with that, the V22 Osprey, it has clutches in it, but it's not electric either, is it? But you can put a clutch even in an electric motors. You can put gears like a transmission in with your motors, and that's what I'm getting at. When you put a gear in there and you utilize a clutch, you can easily dictate how much power is going to each blade. So when you program your shit right and you're controlling it with your stick to go up, down, left, right, go faster, the blades are going to precisely mine. See, none of that is difficult, believe it or not. And you can actually machine out every fucking square inch of that fucking plane or drone. You can pour a solid pour to make your drone and then cut out exactly the dimensions where you want your doors. You can actually pour your doors, make every part, and I mean every single inch you can actually make in a fucking garage. If you want to get into making a cars like Tesla car, you can do it. It's just in America, we're pretty regulated. So you're going to have to go down and have your cars uh, okayed for the street, for example, by the Department of Transportation. You're going to have to meet their requirements. So you need to know what that is ahead of time if you're going to go into making cars. But that's not hard to do, believe it or not. So you build your cars to meet their requirements. And if you do that, you can go into business selling your fucking cars to anybody you want. See, even a working man who's making a decent wage can actually do what I'm saying. You have to save your money every month, a little bit of money every month. Invest your money into your equipment or whatever you need. And when you have enough, you probably have enough to build several cars. Then you just start making your cars or your passenger drones on your spare time. And that's what I plan on doing in the future. God willing. Yeah, baby. Why not? But people on the left, they don't think like this. People on the left are just outright fucking stupid. They're retarded. And it is a mental problem here in America now. It is officially a mental retardation in this country. A lot of it is brought to us from Europe, believe it or not. A lot of it comes from Germany because they got so many fucking retards over there, they had to send them over here. England, Germany, countries like this is where a lot of these retards are coming from. So, yeah, it's true. And even Canada sends their trash down here. We don't get good people from Canada down here too often. Oh, there's probably a few, and a few of them are probably rich, helping, provide jobs. But for the most part, they don't. They just want to take advantage of America. And did you hear Trump? They got a 250% tariff if you import milk into Canada from America. In other words, you are not allowed to sell milk in Canada that's produced in America. So I agree with Trump. If they're going to charge 250%, we should charge them 250%. That way it's even. Might as well just do away with it. And if Canada don't like that, fuck them. There's not a goddamn thing we need out of Canada. And Trump has even said this multiple times. We don't need their lumber. We don't need their cars. We don't need their fucking milk. We don't need any of it. Canada is bound to become a 51st state because without America, they go broke. You get a president in there that thinks this way, a good president, he'll start using the trade to our advantage, fucking over Canada. Like literally, we could fuck over Canada and force them to become a 51st state. But I think Greenland should actually be the 51st state. I think they should come next. I don't. Maybe Canada's the 52nd state. But who knows? I mean, Canada, the people could up and decide to, they're gonna have to get rid of that piece of shit, Turdu, the turd, They got to get rid of turd over there first. You guys are gonna have to vote in somebody that's more of a Trump supporting kind of guy, not that piece of shit. I forgot his name that's running now. That looks like he might win the election. He's got a good chance. He's supposed to be for the right, but he doesn't favor Trump. He's not a friend of Trump, so fuck him. Let him take over and then spank his fucking ass around like he's a little puppet bitch. And then Canada might end up voting to become a state, uh, whether they like Trump or not. Because now you got free trade, because now you're part of the country, so we could just have free trade and travel. It wouldn't be like going to a foreign nation, it'd just be like going to another state. And I think that would be pretty cool if we did that with Canada. My only fear of Canada is they got a lot of fucking radicals up there in comparison to what their population is. And they got a big population that votes to the left. And I don't want Canada as a state if they're predominantly voting to the left. Because that tells me they got more stupid people up in Canada, uh, given their population, than what we do. And that's a whole lot of fucking stupid. I mean, look, we got California. We got the socialist state of Oregon. We got the socialist state of Washington. We got New York City. We got Michigan. We got Illinois. And granted, it's certain places in up there, like Milwaukee is all blue, but most of the rest of the state up there is red. But still, we got a lot of fucking idiot motherfuckers up here in America. Just imagine up there in Canada. Fuck, we'd be overwhelmed with left wingers that are voting pro communist all the way. So I don't really favor making them a state right now. I think those people are too fucking stupid to bring them in as a state right now. Uh, to be honest with you, that's what I think about Canada and Canadians. Now, let them start voting more to the right, educate them, make them not so dumb, and then you can bring them in as a state. That's what I think. What do you think? I'd rather see Greenland as a 51st state than Canada. And Greenland has a lot to offer America. A lot. A lot. Minerals and oil in particular. And jobs. That means jobs, 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 jobs. That's what that means. Good, great paying jobs. I mean, after you put all their people to work in Greenland, you're going to need to import people. Where are you going to get them? Well, if you got a halfway decent president like Trump, oh, gee, I don't know, maybe Give them a massive tax break if they go hire up a bunch of homeless motherfuckers and put them to work. How about that? Of course, now you got to house them. Where are you going to house them? Well, how about right there where they're fucking working? That way you ain't got to buy them a fucking car. Yeah. Oh, you can provide transportation to the store and back, like a bus or something, at least at certain times of the day. But they'll be making enough money they can go out and buy their fucking pickup truck or anything, no time. Pay cash for it. So that's a win-win situation when you got companies hiring homeless people, right? Putting Americans back to work again. That's what Greenland alone can do for America. I mean, our homeless rate should be down around under 1%, in my opinion. And all them fucking people are not capable of working, so they probably belong in a dodo house. We should actually start up the dodo house, like federal dodo houses in every state. Like, no matter what, you're just too fucking stupid to keep a job, right? Let them live in the dodo house. At least they got a roof over their head and food and a bed to sleep in. Might be a mat, but you know, hey, you can't expect too much when you're a fucking dodo to begin with and you're mooching off of society, right? But we should take care of the homeless people. We shouldn't have this many homeless people. We need to take care of America. And the only way to do that is to provide more jobs. So we definitely need Greenland. I say go get it. Greenland should be more of a priority than Canada. But Canada has a lot to offer too, in a way of mining. There's not as much mining going on in Canada as you think. Oh, there's some mining going on. Don't make any doubt about it. There could be a lot more. And but in terms of gold, oh, we got to take Greenland. Greenland mountains are plentiful in rare metals and gold compared to Canada's mountains. Canada has a lot to offer still yet, but not like fucking Greenland. Greenland is like a gold pot. You go mining there, your odds are you're gonna fucking hit gold, no matter what. But you go up into Canada and fuck, you could maybe not hit anything. And then again, you might hit a little bit of zinc or copper. Or, I don't think they have a lot of copper up there, but they have a lot of other kind of metals that you might hit while you're up there mining. But and maybe a lot of iron ore, you might get a lot of that. But if you're a miner, I mean, you'll take that at a minimum, right? Because you can turn that into money too. And but iron ore is good, but it's like on the low end of metal, right? As far as the cost, you want to hit something like platinum or zinc or some shit like that, or some of these other metals that are pretty rare that they use in electronics a lot. But if you're hitting metal wherever you're mining, you're probably going to come out really good monetary wise. And then you could go buy another mine somewhere else and hope you hit gold. Maybe hope you hit diamonds, right? You go digging in the mountain, best thing you could hit would be diamonds. Not really, but yeah, diamonds would be a good find. It would be a great find. Uh, and then you got legalities with that, right? Now, if you're mining diamonds, your country finds out. Now they want to govern over that because you got to give them so much of your fucking diamonds. So whenever you first hit diamonds in your mine, you want to mine the fuck out of it before the government gets involved with your fucking mining. And and then report it as you're supposed to and all that, and blah blah blah. And you're still gonna make God, you're gonna make so much money. You'll be a rich motherfucker if you hit a diamond mine. But hell, if you hit platinum, you do just as good. Platinum is high dollar right now, and so if you hit platinum, you can sell it just under the market value, and you're still gonna get rich as snot. Like whoever is mining platinum right now, it's all sold. Every bit of it will sell to a lot of these companies out there. There was a guy here not so long ago built a boat, one of those like a pontoon boat or whatever, like for the ocean. Not a real big one either, but he built it out of nothing but platinum. It's a solid platinum boat, and it is beautiful. It's on YouTube. I advise people to go look it up and check it out. You'll love it. And so, I mean, platinum it's a heavily sought after metal. It's just I wouldn't advise building a boat out of that shit when you can build it out of aluminum. Aluminum's a whole lot cheaper. And you can give it a paint job to make it look like platinum if you want, with that same color. But platinum's a beautiful, beautiful metal. It really is, and it's very useful in so many things. Um, there's no telling what you're going to hit mining, but mining in Greenland, if I had money right now, I'd already be buying mining property up there if I could, and I would get it all set up so when America buys Greenland, you in business, baby. You way in business. I think that America should ally itself with Guyana and Sierra Leone, and maybe a couple other countries going in towards into Africa there. Uh, but we need to heavily be committed to that too, and we can provide them people with jobs and open up so many businesses there. Oh my God! It really comes down to if you have enough money to open business, and this is where I'm telling you, our government should be paying us a percentage of their profit every fucking year instead of giving it away to our enemy nations or to anybody in any political party or any bullshit like that. It's all fraud, man. Those people belong in prison for doing that. And it's just a damn shame we don't put those people in prison in America who do shit like that. They belong in fucking prison. Put them in prison. Starting with Obama. Obama belongs in prison. Obama's the one that did a lot of that shit. He used U.S. aid to politically send hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to Democrats so that they could run for office. That's got to be illegal as shit. That is fraud. You defrauded the American people and our tax dollar. Your fucking ass belongs in prison, bitch. Obama belongs in fucking prison. And anybody who was accepting that money belongs in prison because they know exactly where they were getting that money from. What do you think about that? But all that money that's been freed up, Trump's talking about sending us $5,000. Okay, great, 5,000, but that's chunk change compared to what we could be getting sent. But our government makes so much goddamn money. Instead of giving it to foreign people in foreign fucking countries so they can stick it in their fucking bank accounts, why not give, like, if we gave 10% of that money back to the American people, you'd be getting paid millions of fucking dollars every year. Millions. And I'm telling you, our government should be paying us 10% of all the fucking profit that it makes before they send that money anywhere, before they decide on funding the government. They can have the 90% to fund the government and give to our allied nations, right? Because it's billions of fucking dollars, trillions of fucking dollars. Hell, just send us a cool $1 million every year. That would be about right. That would be fair to the American people. But see, if you keep voting for Democrats, you ain't never gonna see none of that money. That's why I keep telling people, vote all Republican. Vote to the right. Make sure they're far to the right and they're stuck on the right and they ain't never going to the left. If you got to run for office, run for office. What's so difficult about that? I don't see what's so damn difficult about that. But yeah, we need to talk about these topics. I think it's good so people can understand what's really going on, who's doing it, why they're doing it. The mental state of the left is not good right now. It's very rocky. There's a lot of infighting going on over at the Democratic Party too. That's a good thing because we need to weed out the bad people on the Democrat side. And the best thing you can do is to vote for a goddamn Republican to replace them bad Democrats. We haven't done enough of that. Not near enough. We need a lot more Republicans in office. And that could even bring you to the topic of judges. We need to impeach about a third of all of the federal judges. Literally. I don't know how someone could still be in office like that judge. Oh, what's his face? I was talking about him yesterday. He just up and out of the blue ruled against Trump deporting people. Excuse me, last time I checked, a judge is only supposed to fucking rule on crime, not politics. How about we get America back to that? Tell the judges you're not allowed to fucking rule on politics. Last time I checked, that was the role of the president to deport people and decide who to deport, when to deport them. That ain't no goddamn business of no fucking judge. And Trump is going to win out on all of that shit in the Supreme Court anyway. So what are they doing? They're just trying to make a name for themselves. Being a dumbass. And the one judge, because he made that ruling, is looking at a federal impeachment right now. I hope they impeach that motherfucker and get him out of there. We need good judges in office, not these fucking libtard son of a bitches. We don't need judges in office that just want to make a name for themselves because they see Gloria running, becoming president one day. So they act like they're the president and rule again. Oh, president says do this, we're going to say no, you can't do that. That shit's going to wear out this year, and by next year, Trump's going to be deporting everybody. And it will be the Democrats doing for taking this shit to the fucking court level. It will be their own fucking doing that everybody's going to be getting deported, not just most people. But in my opinion, if you've been here since you was like under the age of fucking, I don't know, 10 years old, they should give you your citizenship. You've been here that fucking long illegally. Or even on a green card, especially if you've been here for 10 years, they should just give you, paying taxes and shit, they should give you an honorary citizenship. Shouldn't cost you any fucking thing. What the fuck would be wrong with that? I got no problem with that. A lot of good people here. I say keep the good people and get rid of the bad. And we got a lot of good people here on green card, and some are illegal even. Now I agree, deport all the illegal people, but I mean, if they're good people, make them a fucking citizen. Keep them. See, but the way the Democrats are going about this shit in the court is going to end up causing everybody to get deported who don't belong here legally. And I think that's a shame because then you're going to have to vote in another president who's got a lot more common sense in this direction. But when it comes to Trump, I think he does have the brains there. The problem with him is he's having to fix so much shit at one time. He doesn't have time to really micromanage the process in any one direction. And that's Trump's biggest hurdle right there. And I don't really see him overcoming that. I mean, it's possible, but doubtful because he has so much to deal with around the world, not only in America, but outside of this country. And so he's too busy. He's too busy to micromanage all the decisions and whatnot. But in the end of the day, he's got America going in the right direction. He's going to have us going in the right direction. It really is going to come down to who you vote for after Trump. And you get somebody in there that's smart like Trump and gets in there and maybe tweaks this a little bit, tweaks that a little bit, we'll really be headed in the right direction, and we'll have good people in this country, and the bad people will be staying out. And so that's what I support: voting in good people into office. That's what you should be involved in doing. You don't know how to do it, learn how to do it. It's not that tedious of a process. You just look up who's running, you check them out, you X out the bad ones, and you check off the good ones. Pretty easy, actually. All you got to do is ask them a few questions or ask their representative, what does he support on this issue or that issue or that issue or that issue? And on the issues below their name, you're going to put an X in a check. You might have two checks and five X's. You might have all checks. You definitely need to vote for that person, right? The one with the X's, you need to get rid of them. But if they got one X, they might be the best person out of the bunch. If you don't like what you're seeing there, then maybe you should run for office or get somebody that you would like to see up there to run for office and you can support them. Anybody can run for office. All you need is the money. And hey, come see me. I'll throw you a couple of fundraisers. One fundraiser alone could get you around $40,000, $60,000 easy. That's plenty of money to run for office, isn't it? Yeah, at a lower level, could definitely get you elected. How about if you throw 4 or 5 of those events? Get you a lot of money in there to run for office. Why not? You could do it. It's not that difficult. That's how the Irish do it. How do the Irish do it, Aaron? What are you talking about? Brown soda bread. What? Oh, you pouring soda in there with your bread instead of water? I don't know if I'd like that or not. I've never eaten it. Sounds like something to try just for the hell of it. I might have to try that. Make some bread with soda. Just see how it turns out. That's not a bad idea. I might have to try to do that. I might even think about doing maybe root beer bread. How about we do root beer bread and Pepsi bread? Or maybe Dr. Pepper and Pepsi or something like that. We compare the different kinds of bread. How about Sprite and bread? Or one of them kinds of lemon lime drinks. One of them soda pops. Mix that in there. Mix the dough in with that. And then cook it. Make your bread, baby, or bake it. Make your bread. Soda bread. You probably go into business selling soda bread. Have you thought of that? Let me tell you, if you're going to make bread these days and compete with the big boys, here's what you need to do, especially in America. You need to locate yourself in a hot climate area, like down here in the Rio Grande Valley area, or even maybe further west. Get you a cheap plot of land. Build you a really good big warehouse on there. Big warehouse. Not that difficult. It's really not. Put your beams from the ground going up. Put your fucking metal all around that bad boy. Now, you need to build a series of buildings that are not that big. Okay? Those buildings are going to be your oven. All of your ovens. Like, you can build 10 of them motherfuckers if you want. Or you can build 4 of them, whatever. Here's what you do. You let that thing up there called the sun cook your bread. Because that sun is going to heat up those sheds. And inside those sheds, going to get pretty fucking hot. It'll get so hot, you're going to have to ventilate it. You understand? And there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can manually do it, go read the temperature and open it up more or close it up some. Keep it within a certain window of heat there inside. That way it cooks your bread even and really good. Or you can have an automatic adjuster put in there so the arm will go up or it'll go down and it'll close or open the vent, whichever way you're going with it. And that'll be based off of your temperature. You can buy that shit online. It don't cost that much. And so this is how you can cook your bread and to do it in a very cheap way. Let the sun cook it in the summertime. Now, when it's not summertime, you're going to have to pay out for electricity or some kind of way to heat your bread. Well, guess what? Yeah, solar paneling. Now, here's where you got to get tricky. You don't want to put your solar panel on top of the sheds. You don't want to do that because in the summertime, you want that bare and open to the sun. Because you want the sun to heat that sucker up real good, nice and hot in there, nice and toasty. And then you just get your solar panels. You can put them in the back of the shed, like away from the shed. So you can build you something up off the ground a little ways, something you can walk under and reach up there, and you can replace your solar panels when they go bad. Be pretty easy, and you can put as much of that out as you want. So now you got solar panels up on top of your grass. They're catching all of that heat. And then you have your batteries hooked up underneath that. Now guess what? Your batteries are protected from the atmosphere. Your batteries are now providing you electricity for your oven to bake your bread. So really, if you want to bake any kind of bread, that's really about the only way you're going to do it and be able to afford to make it at such a cheap rate to sell it at a competitive rate where you can sell it in the stores or wherever you want to sell it. But that's how you need to do it right there. And if you want to make soda bread, carrot bread, or jalapeno bread, or whatever kind of freaking bread, you can do it if you got the ovens. So you want to be sure to pour the concrete around your ovens because you're going to be coming up to your ovens with a cart. You're going to be taking the bread out and putting them on the cart. And so you need to have them to where, you can do that. And then you simply take your bread inside and package it up and put it on the truck to go get delivered to the store. It's not that difficult. So you might want to have those ovens connected to your warehouse, what I'm saying. For your warehouse, you don't want it any higher than the roof of the oven so that the ovens are getting hit by the sun all day long. Best way to do it would be to disconnect them and leave them outside. If you do that, then what you need to do is have it to where you can open the door to the oven and scoop it out with your forklift and then go take it into the warehouse. The whole fucking, you want an oven inside an oven, or you want a container inside the oven. So when you take it in, you can open it up. Now you're inside. Now you can take your bread out, load it on the table there or whatever, wherever you're packaging it up at, and you just have your workers package up the bread. And the guy on the forklift, what's he gonna do? He's gonna empty all the bread out, or whoever's there to do it. Maybe he just drives a forklift, and then you simply take it from that point. You're gonna take it to the other side over there, the warehouse, where they're making the bread, the dough. And then they're going to take the racks out, reload all them fucking racks. And you just go stick it in the fucking oven again, right? You close the door, you stick it in the oven, the door will be on the other side of the forklift, right? So when you put it in, when you take it out, they can open the door and get the bread out or put it in. I get detailed with that shit, don't I? But look, it's a really simple process. It's simple. You don't have to have a power forklift to do that either. They got forklifts that you can buy that you just hand pump that sucker and it'll lift up the rack and then you can pull it out by hand. And bread doesn't weigh that much. A container that you're putting in and out of the oven doesn't weigh that much. Like you could literally just don't make it downhill where you got to pull it uphill. You want a flat surface. And you could just pull that whole thing right into your warehouse. So now if you got your building separated, you could do it that way. Your only problem is what if it rains? That's why you got a container with the bread inside of it that you're putting in and out of the oven. See? It don't matter if it's raining. Take that bread right on out and put it right on in. But see, this is why you need two different kind of ovens, really, right? Maybe you have ovens in the warehouse. So your ovens outside are just for when the sun is out and it's going to heat up. So it's not going to be raining when you're using those ovens. Now, when you can't use those ovens because maybe it's raining, too much clouds up, whatever, the ovens aren't getting warmed up enough to cook your bread or bake your bread. You want inside ovens inside of the warehouse that work off of solar power and batteries. So the whole top of your fucking warehouse, you want solar panels up there. All you can put solar power. You might as well make the roof out of solar panels. That way you can just go up there and unbolt the fucking solar panel that goes bad, pull it in, put another one up there and bolt it in. Easy. Pretty easy to do, actually. Not difficult at all. But your whole roof could be made like that. Or you could just put metal up there and then put your solar panels on top of that. It don't matter how you do it. Point is, with very little money, you can compete with the big companies if you do it like this because year round you can cook bread for as cheap as anybody in America. Nobody's going to be able to underprice you if you're in the right locations. And people would love to have jobs like that. You might even consider building some series of houses or some type of housing right there. That way you can house your employees, right? Now you can hire anybody to work there as long as they're good workers. You dig? So it's up to you what you want your future to be, but you can go into business in America doing certain things and make a decent living. You can do the exact same process making tamales. If all you did was cook and make tamales, you don't have to use electricity for an oven. Well, you do, but solar power. Man, you can put out the cheapest tamales in town. Like, however many tamales you're gonna fucking make, they're gonna be sold. You'll be selling them to every little business in town. You might have a problem there because it's going to be a while before you add enough ovens and workers to make enough fucking tamales to meet the demand. So there's a lot of businesses that you can get into in America. You just have to put your mind in the right direction and learn what you need to do to make that happen. And that's about the way that cookie crumbles. With regards to back to the political world, we do have way too much regulation in a lot of areas. Needs to be lightened up some in some areas, but that's really comes down to your states and how you vote and what you want out of your government. You got to press for. You can't just expect those things to happen. You got to press for those things to happen. That's what you got to do, and it means you need to get involved in politics at some point in time to some degree, to some level. A lot the way we're raising our children these days, they're not told that. They're not told that because the bad people don't want you to be taught that part of your duty as an American is to be involved in politics. You got to know who you're voting for, man. You should be involved locally at least that degree to that much. So voting is very important. People do need to get a lot more involved in who they're voting for and why they're voting for those people. And I think you're seeing a lot of good changes in America. I think that has started happening to a bigger degree, but we need to see more of it. And we need to see a lot more Republicans voted into office. We need to get rid of this goddamn bunch of Democrat cocksuckers that are up there. They're just criminals. All they want is the money out of your Federal Reserve. I've been saying that for years. If they can take total control of this government and outlaw the Republican Party, this country will be broke by the end of the year. Would be broke because they would steal all of that fucking gold. That's exactly what they would do. And who would end up with it? Great Britain, because it'd be them and the Hinkle family doing it. So the Hinkle family, they're already snotty rich. They just get even richer while you go dirt poor. Nobody has any jobs. Nobody has any medical. The government ain't giving you anything. You're fucked as a nation if you let them take over. But that's exactly what's been happening in America. And we just beat that. We just overcame that by getting Donald Trump reelected into office. And we told them cocksuckers on the left to fuck off. We need a lot more of that, guys. A lot more of that is what America needs. Trump is going to set us in the right direction. And he gutted the deep state when it comes to our Fed already. He's done that. And he's doing it more and more and more by firing these employees. And these fucking impartial judges that are ruling against him, every single fucking last one of them should be impeached. Every fucking judge should be impeached that tries to throw up a ruling that you can't fire all them people like that. That ain't right. Shut the fuck up. I impeached that motherfucker. Because the president does have authority to do that, and it's his right to do that. When this hits the Supreme Court, Trump is going to win all of that. And that'll be the end of that. But you'll see that, I think, within the next year. And after this first year, it's going to be easy selling for Trump. And all you motherfuckers taking advantage of our federal job system, you're going to be out the door and out on your duff. You're going to need to go find a new job, a real job. That's not going to be easy for you because nobody's going to want to hire your ass, number one. But if there's plenty of jobs out there because you started voting Republican, and yeah, we could end up with jobs all over the place. You could leave that job, go get another job, never have a problem. Ideology would say you would like to see that happen, right? Because we don't want people just losing everything they got. A little bit inhumane, but if they're left wingers, who gives a fuck? Fuck them, let them go homeless, right? They're too stupid to have a job, in my opinion. Fuck them, get rid of them. We don't need them. Deport them motherfuckers too. Oh shit, that's funny. But that's how I feel about it. But really, we need more jobs in this country, not less jobs. Under Obama, we lost so many jobs. God bless. Fuck. So many trucking companies. So many companies. Period. Shut down under Joe Biden. I don't believe there's ever been a point in time in history that many fucking jobs have ever been lost in this country. See, Joe Biden, we lost more companies under Joe Biden than any other president in history, even Obama, even the Bushes, even the Clintons. And they fucked us over pretty good. Jimmy Carter fucked us over really good. I would like to see Donald Trump bring back fair taxes when it comes to owning convenience stores. then you would see Americans owning convenience stores again instead of these fucking raghead motherfuckers that don't even know how to wipe their ass with toilet paper. But that's what you're seeing. You go to some of these fucking places, you'd never want to go back. And a lot of these companies, fuck, how did they even start up, right? We didn't invite these motherfuckers over here. They were forced on us by bad Democrat presidents. But I would like to see Trump fix the convenience store problem in America. That would be fantastic if he could do that. Remember, Obama was asked about that, and he answered it. He said, "Oh, that we're never going to change that. No, no, I'm not going to change it. No, we got to have that. Well, why do you got to have it? Because you're keeping Americans down by not allowing us to own businesses right here in our own fucking country. The goddamn Japanese and Arabs on them fucking convenience stores. That's kind of fucked up if you ask me. And Circle K, there for a long time, American owned, but they had to base their company out of the country. So they didn't have to pay the fucking 50% tax. You can only do that if you got enough money to fucking do that. And I disagree with that. I don't think owning a convenience store should be just for the rich. I think anybody that wants to own one should be able to start one up. And I think the taxation on those convenience stores should be fair across the board for everybody. Flat tax them motherfuckers and make it even for everyone. You see a lot more Americans owning their own business in the way of convenience stores. We should have enough money flowing in this country. You can start up your own fucking toy factory. Build your own fucking drones, little remote control cars, whatever the fuck you want to produce and sell, you can do. You should be able to do that in America. I remember a time when people actually did those things in America when I was young. Not anymore. We need to get back to that. And if we got back to that, I think a lot more Americans would be a lot happier because we would all have plenty of money. And that's the trick. Plenty of money. That comes from good jobs. Whether you're the owner or you get a job working for these people or whatever, we need more jobs. And you got to open that up. You can't just say, okay, give us more jobs. Oh, by the way, we're going to tax you 20%. Fuck no. You got to lower the tax and everything, make it fair across the board, and open the shit up for Americans to open up businesses right here in America. That way we can open up businesses that we actually fucking want. And we don't have to get online and go buy shit from goddamn uh, China or some other goddamn country we don't really feel comfortable buying the shit from. Anything that's sold here, we should be allowed to make and sell here. And the only way you can do that is if they make it fair on the taxation. And see, that's what Trump's trying to kind of do. Get that taxation on import fees. Get that evened out. And that might take him a little time, but he's winning that war, and he's going to win that war. Don't listen to all that scare tactic. Oh, we're going to be in a bad recession. Oh, we'll never come out of that. All because of that orange man. Oh my God. Shut the fuck up. What I got to say to them stupid motherfuckers. When Trump is done, you'll be able to go open up more businesses. And if we could get it to that degree I'm talking about, man, America's going to be a happy ass fucking country. As long as they keep voting for the right people into office and not the left, the wrong people. You got to vote for pro-Americans into office. If you do that, after Trump, you're going to be even happier and happier because you're voting right. And these left wing motherfuckers are just attacking people left and right all the time. They need to bring that shit to an end. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, we need a better government. There's no doubt about it. The government gone the wrong way for the American people. We need to bring that back around to working in favor of the American people. And we need a lot more of that. But Trump's a good start. He's getting us in the right direction. But we got bad people out there, very bad people doing bad things. And we need to support one another. Wouldn't you agree? We need to support one another in making these things happen. Bad people should be brought to justice or punished. When the government lets you down, they should be held accountable. And that is why I'm suing two cities, the state of Texas, and the Fed, and Discord, along with a whole group of people. Right there is my donation link. So don't forget it. Don't be shy. Share my live stream. Share that link and tell people go donate to this guy. Because I want to set the record straight when it comes to that kind of thing. I think you'd be glad you did. That'd be another time you're glad you helped somebody out do something like, oh, help me get something into court. For less than the price of a car, you can help me get into court and sue these bastards blind like they should be. Actually, I'm not even suing for that much. I really should be suing for double the amount for each entity, really. And I've thought about that too, but I want to keep it where I got it. I don't want to go too much out of control there with that. I think I'm keeping it down to a reasonable amount for what I'm suing for. So for each entity and whatnot, I think I'm going about it in a fair way. So with that in mind, don't forget to hit that donation tab, baby. But look, I love all of you. I do look forward to getting my lawsuit into court this year, and we'll see how that goes. I'm glad the astronauts are back down to Earth. I mean, wow, stuck up there for almost 10 months. What the hell did they do every day? God, that had to get boring real fast. I mean, I bet they're so boring they wish they had some cocaine. Seriously. Old Joe's back there down on planet Earth snorting the cocaine, laughing at them motherfuckers. You ain't got no cocaine, and you got to go around looking for little holes in the wall to patch up. Make sure you ain't losing no oxygen. What a deal. But at least they're back down on planet Earth safely. Thank you to Elon Musk. And to those people attacking his Teslas and shit, fuck you. The American people do not support your actions. In fact, we think that your fucking asses need to be brought to prison. So anybody that ever hears an inkling of anybody doing anything like that, you need to report it to the FBI. God bless. Peace out, guys. And I'll catch you on the next go around with TBob Love. How about that? Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and all that good stuff.